What's up? What's up? How we doing? How are we doing, man? Let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right. I think we're ready to rock, man. Let's do it. What's up? We ready to go? We ready to go? My fate relies on whether or not this baby becomes a trend. Not so much, but you know what? My fate on this trade at least. So let's see. Let's see how this guy ends up. By the way. Boop. 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 That's a different one than this one, by the way. We got Lucid. We got My Funded Futures. We got TakeProfitTrader. We got Apex. TakeProfitTrader. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah. Flash sale over at TPT. Half off. This week only. They're 50% off. Code BIG. Still no activation fee. So, let's see what's up, man. See what we can get going here. All right. Now, again, a lot of you guys are going to be like, what's up with this trade? Big range all day. The environmental context lately has been pretty interesting. We've been seeing a lot of ranges pushing into grind trends, right? And then we see sideways ranges and then often continuations. So let's see if we can get something interesting going on here. Again, if you're just joining me, I'm long. Not in all my accounts, because over here on TradeAvate, I'm trading one at a time. You know, but I'm long in 4 different props right now. And this, of course, is the Apex accounts. What's up, Yasha? Of course not, dude. We've been over this. I use a voice changer, and for my likeness, this is AI. YouTube, just kidding. Don't shut down the fucking live stream. Alright, well. ATR here 33. Man, if this baby can turn into a trend, we're gonna make a whole bunch of fucking money. And you know it's gonna try. It already is. Alright, Bulls, let's see what you got. Let's see if we can come into 29.5, by the way. You know what we should actually do? Just show a big peak. See this? We're pressing. We're pressing what? 30,000? 30,000 next. Hopefully it doesn't become another 25,000. Or 20,000. And we get stuck there for 3 weeks. Alright, you bulls. Take profit traders. My average on TPT is a little higher. Trading small in this my funded futures. See, I'm on the micros over here on MFF. All right, now, bulls. Come on. There you go, bulls. All right, see if I can get a fill there on the Apex accounts. I can. Let that copier flatten. It will. Okay, I'll take 1R in the Apex. I got a shitload to manage over here. Got the TPT, got the Lucid, got the My Funded Futures. Fucking slanging today. Tell you what. All right, we'll see what 32, how it closes up. Gamma, trading Chris, how we doing? Taz, good to see you. Okay, we got a minute 40 out here from the close of bar 32. Roy, big dog, how are we? By the way, over here in the Apex accounts, we're gonna see how 32 closes up. All right, I'm gonna book that little guy in the My Funded Futures. And I'm coming back to Take Profit. I still have Take Profit and Lucid on. Apex and My Funded Futures booked. 26 seconds out here from the rollover of 32. All right, we'll pop over here to Apex and see how this guy closes up. Wick high of 31. Get a stop limit buy ready. Inside close there. No trade on the Apex accounts. Okay. All right. Scott, how are we? Javaz, big dog. Right. All right, so 340 outer from the close of bar 33. ATR starting to slow down a little bit, sitting 28.29. What's up, Bulls? We got 29.5. Okay, bar 20. First of all, let's all relax a little bit. Bar 28, inside close. Yeah, 100%. You would think that if you had a very basic understanding of what I'm doing here as far as RAM is concerned. Okay, this is a math equation. If I know effectively what the probability of a trade might be, and I consider environmental context, what we've been seeing in the market the last week, few days, few weeks, depending on the situation, I can make mathematical sense of a bet. Okay, my risk on this trade is quite low, and I know effectively the probability of this turning into a bit more of an attempted, at least, trend. Nico, you can only place trades in one direction at a time across multiple accounts, right? That is true within props. Though unless it's a personal account with a prop, I'm typically not going to have on like a long intraday swing and then a short scalp. You could probably get away with it across props. I don't see why you couldn't, especially with personal accounts. You could get away with it, of course. In the same prop, don't hedge opposite directions. You will eventually get in trouble for doing so. It's not worth that risk. $60 seconds, bar 33. ATR is still hanging out around 29, man. It's not bad, but it's starting to slow a tad. world? 1 second. Hang on now. All right. All right. Bar 34, 3.5 minutes out. See what the Bulls got. Get them sitting long in a few different props. So what's up with you guys so far here today? I imagine, let me take a guess. I'm going to go ahead and imagine that a number of you had a pretty rough morning falling for these breakouts, correct? Big range. Am I right? I bet this bar fucked a whole bunch of you up. How does he know? Roy says, yup. JM, how are we? I say, what's up? John, this isn't about faith in you guys. I know traders as a whole. I know traders a little too well. What I'm actually going to do here on the take profit accounts, I'm going to suck that up right beneath that bar 29. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do the same on the Lucid. Yeah, that makes sense. Just leave that guy on. Okay, 8 seconds. Limit buy goes underneath the wick low of 34 to add a second. And then I'll have to update my stop. You know there's buyers beneath 34. And your boy is one of them. There we go. Alright, then my Lucid's still sitting exactly the same. No ad on the Lucids. All right, 4 minutes out here from the wick. I'm sorry, the close of 35. So in 4 minutes, we'll roll over into 36. Now, you know, I'm very curious if this is really my look, turns into a soft bull channel. If we do end up heading back into the range, cracking downside through both of these and just chopping around in here. That's cool too, just more information, but... yeah, you watch these bulls take this shit higher. Man, if you haven't yet, hit like on the stream. I appreciate you doing so. All right, bulls, let's fade this guy higher. Take out new highs, beauty. Keep that pushing. Oh, shit. All right, bulls. 36 rolling over. Take out that wick high of 35. Push us to new highs. I want to see 30,000. Minimum PT here of 550 points. Question, Nico, what is your take on these instant funded accounts I've been seeing? I have one right now. In fact, this account here is an instant funded account at Lucid. They're fine. I mean, they're expensive, kinda. I don't know. I mean, look, guys, I don't... First of all, let me answer the question. The instant funded accounts, they can make sense if you are so ROI positive that you just cannot even be bothered to trade evals, and you're like, I make so much more money in a single day. and the opportunity cost to trade an eval is just ridiculous for me, then hit the instant funded. It's also kind of a luxury, right? That you're able to do that. At the same time, they cost more money, but I will say, I don't think about expenses. I don't think about business expenses, which prop trading is your business, right? It's not the same as spending money on dinner. It's just not. Look, at some point, if you're ROI positive, you just got to slang. Who gives a shit what your expenses are if you're ROI positive? That's the point. Amazon has a lot of expenses, don't they? Okay, well, have you seen their earnings report? It doesn't, like... Amazon is trying to spend more money. They don't care, because if the margin percentage stays the same, then their profit gets bigger, and then they add shareholder value, and everybody wins. I really think too many people think of their business expenses the same as, like, I don't know, man, this is, how many lunches could I buy with that, $1,000? It's not, I get it. In the early days, it kind of has to be the same because it's the same pool of money, but you can't think of it the same. I really think you're just holding yourself back with that mindset. That being said, I think most people should just trade the evals. Because you're not ROI positive for that to make sense, right? All right, Bulls, I've had about enough. I want to see 24,000. I'm sorry, 30,000, 31,000. The fuck am I talking about? Yeah, please not 25K. All right, Bulls. So we took out the Wickaya bar 35. See if we can head up back toward the actual high now. We got work to do. Now, look, if you look over here, the big risk, by the way, the big risk is this. We'll see if that sideways range, it may become a thing. I don't want it to, obviously, but we'll see if it does. See if it does. Yep, these are minis. These are minis in TakeProfitTrader. And this is the Lucid direct to funded right now. Just got one mini in that guy. 150K account. Back to TPT here. We'll go on now, Bulls. There you go. There you go. All right, I'll book that and take profit. Now I just got Lucid to manage. At least on this trade. As we come into the high. Bartlett says, we're gonna dump so overextended. When are we gonna dump? If you have a crystal ball, I'd really appreciate if you'd share it with us, man. So we can all get short. All right, so far here, I booked profit on Apex. I booked profit on my funded futures. Granted, I was trading very small in my funded futures. I booked profit on Take Profit. Now I just have Lucid left, which is the one where I'll take on that risk to the chin of this becoming a sideways range. That's fine with me. Well, Nasdaq seems to be having a little hesitation here, which is nothing new. I mean, we've been seeing this all day, but this time coming into 29.5. Again, this is a 5-minute chart, by the way, that you're looking at. Okay, by the way, as we come into the lower third of what could be a either sideways trading range or soft bull channel, again, I'm trading just small, but I'm going to show you every single entry here, obviously, as I've done for over a year. There's no, oh shit, there's no quiet entries going on around here. You guys get that shit too much elsewhere. That's my funded futures, okay? Back to Lucid. By the way, still watching for trade number 2 here in the Apex. Yes, sir. By the way, if you're just joining us, TakeProfitTrader is having a flash sale. It's this week only. It is 50% off all evals, and when you pass, if you used code BIG at sign up, you will not pay the $130 activation fee. They will activate it for free, which is ridiculous. So go hit it. Go hit it. Now I could really use these bulls, popping this baby back higher, taking out highs. Man, you want to turn this thing into a sideways range? You want to turn this thing into a soft bull channel? Either way is tremendous for me. By the way, that right there, that's the test of the 20. EMA, you can see that here. All right, rolling over into bar 39. Now, 39, believe it or not, is quite an important bar. Because the 39 heads on lower and closes as a moderate to large bear body, very clean. All of a sudden, I got to look at that for the Apex accounts over in Ninja. Maybe the TakeProfitTrader accounts as well for a short. Holy shit. What, one tick? One tick? Here in the Lucids? Oh man, or the Lucid account? One of them? Again, my risk here is managed right below the wick low at 29. Cut it there. And let's see how 39 closes up. First loser of the stream there on Lucid. Well, on all of them, but on Lucid in particular. My funded futures, yeah, trading small on this guy, but, got to show you what's going on. All right. So that one is managed right around the wick low at 26. We'll see what's up over there. Now, in the meantime, here on 39, I got to keep an eye on this guy. We are 320 out. I got to see how this guy closes up. Question, is it hard managing 2 accounts? I'm managing a lot more than 2 accounts across 4 windows right now, but I love it. This is my personality type. No, I don't find it to be very difficult. Holy shit. All right, stopped on my funded futures. Again, that was just 3 micros. Now good, I'm flat all around. Now I gotta watch how 39 closes up here on the Apex, well, on Ninja for the Apex accounts. We'll see, that's a big wick. That's a big ass wick. Let's see if it's time to start getting short here. All right. 39 hanging out right around the midpoint. Those bulls trying to suck it back up. What do you guys think? They're going to turn this guy into a big, I mean, I guess sideways range? Probably not soft bull channel at this point with that deep of a pullback. It would take a little bit of cleaning up, which would be a while of work for this market to clean that guy up, turn this back into a big soft bull channel. We'll see. We'll see. All right, 38 seconds. See this big wick? That's those bulls stepping on in. They don't like that. What was the range on that bar, by the way? Holy shit, 70-something points, 74 points. All right, let's see how this guy closes up. It's going to close up probably above its midpoint here, 5 seconds. Actually, my timer must be a little bit off, so that rolled over basically with 3 seconds left on the timer, so that's good to know moving forward for the day. Okay. Now, you know what the big concern becomes, right? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. With that giant wick there, you gotta start thinking about that. At this point, it's almost looking like we're just going to turn this into a big range. So, we'll keep an eye on this here. Okay, halfway through bar 40. And I really see this as just a big potential fucking range. You know that the look is there. The problem is, you know, I look at this over here on, you know, you'll say like Lucid, for example. Or, you know, fuck it, whatever, TakeProfitTrader. The logical trade here, if you want to bet on the sideways range, is to get long and risk the wick low. That's bar 39. The problem is there's not really a lot of room. You're kind of, that rubber band effect becomes an issue because as you get to the middle of this trading range, the rubber band goes loose. So it's a little bit hard to justify having any real edge doing that. So I'm going to hold off there. Back to Ninja here. And we'll watch bar 40 close up. Minute 20 out. I don't think bar 40 can decide what the hell to do here. Yeah, there you go. Suck it back down. So this is take profit. You got about, what, 50 points? About 70-ish. If you can get down below 410. Yeah. For this to become a short, by the way, I just don't think we're really there yet. I think this is much more of a trading range look first. If you can get a nice clean bear body that closes beneath the wick low of this, which is bar 39. Again, this is a 5-minute chart. All of a sudden, the look gets a lot more attractive as short, especially below here, which is bar 22. Right now, this is trading range action. It's just not there yet. And in trading range action here, for me, it kind of has to be a long, unless you're going to take a huge like whole day intraday swing attempt, but you know, realistically, you're kind of fighting both a trading range and a potential softball channel look. So that reward to risk better be huge because the probability is not, you know, the best, at least not right now. All right, so you pop over here. I actually am going to set an order a little lower. Right there. This is TakeProfitTrader. I'll just leave a little order out there for the next 2.5 minutes. If this bar wants to take out the wick low of that little tiny little bear body, especially after 39 with the massive wick, I can just use the massive wick to manage risk and then sit long, see if the bulls want to slowly fade it back up into the trading range. Logical thing to do for me, big dog. So let's see if the bulls want to take it. And if the bottom falls out, it should happen relatively quickly, and they will take it. Stop goes there, just below that wick low. Good. See if the bulls got anything there. If the bottom, again, if the bottom here falls out, all of a sudden we've got a whole market shifting, which is good either way, because then we've got opportunity. Again, I'm flat in Apex, My Funded Futures, and Lucid. This is TakeProfitTrader, which is running a motherfucker of a deal right now. I'll tell you what, this week only. There you go, bulls. Fade it back up. Trading range, big dog. What type of deal is TakeProfitTrader? TakeProfitTrader has been recently. For a while, it was 40% off, no activation fee. I have not seen TakeProfitTrader run a new deal in, it's been many months. It just, now it's 50% off, no activation fee. They just launched that. Today's the first trading day of that deal, and it's this week only. From there, honestly, since I haven't seen them run a different deal in so long, they might go back to 30%, which isn't nearly as attractive when this is over. I don't know. No one does. So, but this is the best one that they've ran in, I think, it's probably since I've been using them, to be honest with you. Daily payouts, by the way, is TakeProfitTrader's thing. So go hit it. Mike, been trading 8 months, never seen a TakeProfitTrader deal like this. Yeah, 100%. It's never been this good. Which makes me wonder what they're going to do after this is over. So I don't know, dude. You imagine they go to just no deal at all? All right, bulls, we see that trading range. I'd say it's about time to start fading this thing up. Test the wick low of 41 here, by the way. We'll take out the wick low of 41. All right, now we got 3 minutes, 26 seconds here until this is bar 42 closes up. Now, this is one of those trades, I'll tell you what, either the bottom falls out, I get stopped, and we have an entirely new look of the market, probably, or the bulls just slowly faded this thing back up, and I'm right about this being a big trading range, which, of course, I think is probably to be the case. But I've been known to be wrong in the past. I've been wrong, what, guys? Maybe in the last 13, 14 months, I've been wrong maybe 2 or 3 times in total. I think that's probably about right. This is a 5-minute, by the way. Time frame, this is a 5-minute chart. And again, we're 2 minutes out from the rollover here of 42 into bar 43. This here, by the way, is kind of the flagship chart. These are the side operations over here. You were wrong only once, the time that you thought you were wrong? Yeah, actually, you know what? I think you're right. That one time I thought I was wrong was the only time I was wrong. All right, Bulls, fade this guy back up. I'm gonna get some fucking karma for talking shit. Market dumps 200 points. Stop loss doesn't work. Yeah, I'm live daily. I am live daily, with the exception of we'll see. I'm not sure yet. I'll announce the stream schedule for tomorrow later on here during this stream. But you'll know. Just assume I'll be live. Yogi Bear, what's up, big dog? Daniel, no trade lines on Tradeovate. Go into chart settings, turn on the trade lines. Fucking sit and break even, man. Antonio, haven't bought a new account in a while, just fired up big on TakeProfitTrader, my man. Yeah, now's the time to do it. I honestly, guys, I have no idea what they're going to go to after this. I don't think anybody does. So, if you were ever going to fire up daily payouts on Take Profit this week, you got to hit it, dude. I don't think it gets much better than this, to be honest with you. There you go. These are Take Profit, or this is a Take Profit Trader account, by the way. We'll see if these bulls can fade us back inside, risking the wick low of that big wick of bar 39. Just betting on the trading range here. Pretty traditional RAM methodology. Certainly a more advanced, take. But, that's what I do. 4 minutes out here till 43 closes up, rolls over into 45. You got the 20 EMA. We're coming into it right now. It's at 427. See that here on the flagship chart here. Now, of course, part of the risk, pop back over here for a second. Part of the risk is this guy. If this turns into a sideways range, it's just going to bop around for a little while. That's okay. We can deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. I want this bigger range there to up here to become the range, because as we fade deeper into it, that's my target. And from there, man, we'll see if I can get trade number 2 in the Apex accounts. Yeah, you see that, bulls? Having a little trouble getting away from all these little wicks on these last 3 tiny little bear bodies. I think bears are trying to turn that guy into a sideways range. If not, take out the wick low of this, which would be bar 42. Make the bottom fall out. Let's hope not. ammo, leave this guy on. You know I love it. Leave him on. Give me 2 minutes. I'm just getting coffee refill. All right, what's up? My candles are all the same across all my all my data providers, so I think you got a problem on yours. I'm also on NQ, are you not? Alright, so basically unchanged. I don't know, a few $100. Yeah, this is one account. One account. Seeing if we can put some stuff on and maybe the My Fund of Futures, especially the Lucid. Or Lucids. And then all the Apex accounts I've still got work to do in. Up 297 per account right now over at Apex. But, you know. Right now I'm more concerned about this guy becoming a range. Again, for those of you guys just joining us, I'll draw it up again. This guy. Whereas really this is to bet more so on, I don't know, draw it however you want, on this guy becoming more of a trading range. This is that bet, right? So we'll get rid of all this. We know it's there. See if the bulls can fade this. You got that 20 EMA, sure. Whatever. Not too worried about it. I'm sitting long. You can see see the position window? Big ass scoreboard up top. The green one. I'm sitting long. Oh, you bears! Balls! Fade us higher, baby! Let's go! I want to see 29.5. Oh my goodness, ATR 27, this is slow. I'm about to average in 15 minis, man. No, no, no. Maybe. Can't do that. Alright, we'll see how bar 45 closes up. Again, you got a range. That wick low 42. That last small bear body right before that bigger green body 2 bars ago. See if we can take out the low of that. Still going to give it down to the wick low of 39, but I'll watch how this bar closes up. Yep, they'll take it out. So now I'll watch how this guy closes up. This is bar 45, and we're 245 out from this, rolling over into 46. Now the question becomes, bull fade back into a trading range, or big bear dump and at least attempt at taking out, you know, this wick low, but especially this wick low here. I'm not going to move my stop just because I'm just going to leave it where I put it. But this wick low here, you could also be using, which is the wick low at 22. Let's take one more down here. And I gotta update my stop. There we go. Good. Banging my head against the wall. This thing's a trading range until it's not. Range, range, range until it's not. Now, by the way, most of you guys should not be doing what I just did. I fucking hate to be that guy. The do as I say, not as I do kind of guy. But you gotta understand, there's different stages to this, okay? And a lot of you guys, especially if you are more on a budget for your prop trading business, especially getting started, if you're not ROI positive, I think if you average in at any size that's more than like a micro, you're gonna wish you didn't. You just don't have the screen time necessary to make that work long term, or the budget, I guess. Now again, I hate talking that way, because if I were you, if I were 19, you know, I'd take that as a challenge. So I'd fucking do it anyway, but I don't know. I'll just tell you what it really is, then, you know, you're an adult. Do whatever you're gonna do regardless of what I say. But at this point, got 2 minis on the Take Profit account, so it's time to see what, about 32,000? I think it is. Alright, there's the rollover, open a bar 46. See what these bulls got! Range, range, range until it's not. What you got, bulls? Well, that's the wrong way, bulls. All right, wick low 39. Let's see what's up. We still got 2 minutes, 12 seconds left on this bar here. So you know I gotta wait and let it do its thing. Bears having a little bit of trouble here, holding it beneath the wick low of 45. You know those bulls still want to see this be a trading range. Again, for me, it's range, range, range until it's not. Now, the wick low of 39 is where I'll manage risk here, but even that is not such a definitive, like, time to get short, break. Because, you know a lot of times, especially considering the environmental context, you'll break through that and just fade. Fade right back into the range. But you got to manage risk somewhere, right? Well, bar 46 here, trying to go green, about to close up. Of course, inside the wick low of 45. Let's see how 47 here opens. See how the first minute or two goes. Tiny bare body out of 46. ATR, by the way, is sitting 26.5. That's the average range of a 5-minute bar. 26.5 points right now, based on the last 10 bars, okay? Back to break even here on the trade. There you go, bulls. Fade that thing quite a bit higher. Let's make this whole thing a trading range. There you go. Well, go on, bulls! Do I have to put on 25 contracts? Fucking do it. Fucking do it. 15 at least. Don't make me do it, bulls. So I've got my eye at this point on that wick high of 44.39-ish. Kind of watching that region. That's kind of the checkpoint in this bigger trading range. That would be sort of the middle of the range. So keeping an eye on that. Again, that's the wick high of here. There you go, bulls. Bring us up into there. All right, book him there on take profit. Beauty. I'm a little concerned. So I don't know, what is that? I think that's 5-6 trades? 7 trades since I don't know. We've had 2 losers. The rest were winners. I'm concerned about this. So let's keep an eye on that. That wick high of 44 and that wick low of 39 kind of acting as the boundaries. Maybe 39 as a whole is a better way to put it. We'll see if we're able to break outside of 39 in either direction at this point. I do have an eye, by the way, on a couple of things. We could see a big, huge soft bull channel. That's kind of a weird soft bull channel, but it'll do. But really, I'm kind of looking at this. Right on top of, 39 as a whole. So keep an eye out here. Keep an eye out here and see what's up. How we doing, guys? How are we? How are you guys doing? Not bad here so far, for sure. Cisco, big dog, love you too. Foreign Trader doing well today. RW Green. Love to hear it. All right, 335 out here from the close up of 48. Hey, by the way, man, if you haven't yet, hit like on the stream. Or dislike, big dog. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever gets you going, man. If you just fucking love going on YouTube, hitting dislike on live streams, you just say, fuck you, big dog. Dislike. If that gets you going on a Monday, do it to me. Big man, hit me with it. We love it. JM, my man. All right, bar 48. Let's see. Now you look at this. It's like, do I have to get long in the Apex accounts? Well, I'm still a little bit worried about that. That's a range. That's a trading range, So I'll watch 48 close up. We're halfway through 48, 2.5 minutes until the close. I imagine, see, it's already, I imagine we're probably going to struggle at least a little bit here with a wick. So let's see. We'll watch. I'm open to trading all the accounts here. All right, 90 seconds. Bull's having problems, man. Ryan just got Take Profit Trader with code BIG. Ryan got 50% off, and when he passes that bitch, he'll pay no activation fee. He saved himself 50% off the rip and $130 in addition to the 50% off when he passes. We love it. News, dog, you trading Ninja, Tradeovate, or both? I am trading both. Both. I've got Ninja, Apex accounts. I've got My Funded Future, Tradeovate. I've got Take Profit Trader, Tradeovate. I've got Lucid, Tradeovate. It's slang time. And we've got 48, bar 48, closing up here. First bar to close outside the range, though we're still dealing with that 39 wick high. Yep, see that? Inside the wick high of 39, nothing. Whole bunch of nothing. Still too much risk of a trading range there, so I am flat in everything right now. Yeah, one HP, I agree with you. Right now, 39 is the trading range. We got to watch 49. The problem is, once 49 pops up and brings us back into here, then my previous argument for a big range, I don't know, I'd probably draw it like this. That also becomes the reality here. So, by the way, this is really common. This is bar 49. Something we got to watch out for. Do you guys remember last week? We'd see a big range. We'd push bull side fade. And then we'd try and form like a double or triple top. Because rather than just continuing for a bull trend, this guy would become a big range. We might see that again today. So I'm keeping that in mind as well. Keeping that in mind. What's the best prop firm right now? I mean, we got a lot of good prop firms, but today I would tell you Take Profit Trader just because the deal is so fucking good. And you still get daily payouts. Code BIG, B-I-G. All right, bar 49. The best prop, really, at any given moment, it kind of depends on what deal they're running, doesn't it? But it's interesting. We're seeing an environment which is very good for us, by the way, as traders. It's very good for us. We're seeing an environment where these props are just head-to-head battling it out. It's kind of a race to the bottom, which is amazing for us because they're like, well, I can one-up that deal. And then another prop is like, well, we can one-up that deal. And every time the deal being one-upped has to mean what? That it's more attractive to us. So, I gotta tell you, I think it's go time, dude, for props. Like, we gotta go. Like, there's no more waiting. Like, this kind of economic environment, business environment for the prop firms, this kind of thing, this race to the bottom style thing, it doesn't typically last just forever. Because eventually they have to race so low that props start becoming not profitable anymore, and then it kind of levels out. But we're in it. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, fuck, dude, we gotta go. Like, it's time to go. This is such a great environment for being a prop trader. I don't think there's time to wait anymore, to be honest. I think props are gonna be around for a long time, but this current environment is just beautiful. How long is it gonna last? I don't know. I have no idea. All right, minute 42. By the way, until 49 rolls over into 50. All right, ATR, by the way, sitting 28. Skeeto got 3 Take Profit Trader 50Ks using code BIG. Man, I can't wait to blow them tomorrow on New York Open. You're fucking right, baby. Oh, we love it. All right, bar 49. See how this closes up. I may have a stop limit buy here for the bulls, but I gotta tell you, it's tight, dude. I'm not gonna pretend like this isn't a tight trade. So I'm gonna keep my wrist tight. What, 15, 20 points? Wick low 49 if I can get a fill to begin with. So let's see here. 15 seconds, copy trader. Engaged. Stop limit buy goes out. Place that guy. If the bulls want to pop it through and take that order, I'll risk the wick low 49 and we'll see what we can do. Good work, guys. Fucking killing it out here. I'm going to give this 25 total seconds, by the way, which means I got 7 more seconds, and the bulls will take it. So I'm going to, again, risk is tight here. This is a scalp. Wick low 49 is all I'm giving that, and these are the Apex accounts. So let's see what we've got over there. ATR 26, by the way. There you go, bulls. What is this fucking Mario Party music? What is this? Goodness gracious. Can't have that while I'm sitting long in the Apex accounts. The fuck? Alright, ATR 27. Beauty. You know, again, I'm looking at this as a scalp. We're coming into that high. Holy shit, are you kidding me? The high of day is bar 33 again? What is that? 3, 4, 5, what is that? 3 or 4 at least days in a row that the high of day has stayed 33, bar 33. Is that a coincidence at this point? I don't know. ATR 27. Again, I'm treating this guy as a scalp. These are just the Apex accounts. Trading small. That's a half ATR. Pull that there for a scalp as we come into the high, and we'll watch how this happens. Environmental context says that I need to chill out as we come into the high. Flat in the Apex accounts, copy trader disengaged, and now we watch bar 50. Minute 25 out till the close. All right, coming into the high. See what happens here. Bear's probably going to try to wick this back at least once before we test that high. Good little ram scalp, by the way. Good trade. Close at bar 49. Stop limit buy goes out 1 tick above the wick high. Stop goes out 1 point beneath the wick low after you get a fill within 25 seconds in this case. And treat it like a scalp as we come into the high. Half ATR. Good little scalp. All right, so... Okay, so that leaves me flat in everything currently. Looking for the next trade here. This is bar 50, big bar 50. We rolling over here in a second. See that? That's going to close just above its midpoint on bar 50. Hesitation toward the wick high of 33, which is the high of day. Fade back down. Question from the chat. Well, honestly, tell you what, honestly, you know what I'm going to do? You guys remember last week we saw a similar look? Actually, well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this in a lucid. I am going to get short in a lucid and risk just that high a day. You guys can't see anything. See that? And actually, that's kind of right on the tick. There. Okay, so I'm going to do that in a lucid account and bet against the retake of the high, which basically is a bet on this being a trading range, right? I did the same thing last week on I don't know, one day, Wednesday or something, Tuesday. That keeps my risk small, and if this thing does end up fading back into a range, the reward to risk is pretty good. So that is just a stab. All right, Bears. Let's step in, turn that guy into a big old trading range. What do you say? I say we do it to him. Let's fade that son of a gun. And if they take out the high, I will get stopped on this stab right above the wick high of 33, which is the intention. Again, lower probability, higher reward to risk trade here. It really is important to understand the math of the trade you're putting on, because if you put on a stab like this, which is usually how I refer to trades like this, if you put on a stab like this, you gotta understand most of the time they're not gonna work. And that's okay. That doesn't make the math bad, by the way. It doesn't mean that it's a bad trade. It just means it's a lower probability, higher reward to risk trade. So we got 50 seconds out till bar 51 closes up, rolls over into 52. I cannot believe bar 33 has locked itself in as the high a day for like 3 or 4 straight days. The same 5-minute bar. Crazy. All right, there's the rollover into the open of 52. Go on, Bears. The Bulls are going to try, man. They're going to want that high a day. All right, now you Bears. Fade it. Fade it 800 points. I want 40-1 reward to risk, baby. I feel like that's reasonable, right? We'll see about 28,700 on NQ. I think that's reasonable. Bulls trying. What's up, Bulls? Do you want it? How bad? How bad do you want that new high? Again, risk here is, this is very basic stab. Lower probability, high reward to risk. Wick high of 33 plus a point is my stop, which is the high of day. See all this hesitation? All this hesitation is the bet. Now I just need the bulls to run out of ammo. Sooner rather than later would be nice. Now they're going to try to reload down here in the mid-60s, see if they can. Ed started another Apex account using code BIG today. Big dog. Do it to him. There you go, Bears. Not too bad. You got a whole bunch more work to do than that, though. There you go. Fade that son of a gun. Do it. Backfill that whole trading range. Alright, this is my cue. Give me 2 minutes! Be right back. You're like, you're gonna leave it on? Fucking right, I'm gonna leave it on. Be right back! All right. Calm down, I know. Pretty good at this. Just kidding. Playing out a little bit here so far. You fucking bears. Come on now, bears! We got a lot more work to do than that. 3 points in the money. Good God. Break even. So, if you're just joining me here, I am betting on this becoming a big trading range. So I've got a lower probability, high reward to risk trade. Getting short here at 29,460 on the Nasdaq, and I'm risking high of day. Okay, which is the wick high at bar 33. So, now let's just see if the bears can fade this quite a bit more than they already have. At best here so far, they've had me, what, 10 points in the money? It's nowhere near what I'm looking for. Let's see what they got. There you go, bears. Fade, fade, fade. Whew! My bad. Had to sneeze. All right, there you go, bears. There's the idea playing out here a little bit. Pull that in deeper. Good, bears. Go, go, go. By the way, testing that 20 EMA right about now, that's okay. There you go, there's the rollover of bar 54 into the open of bar 55. I will see if bar 55 here can take out the wick low of 54 relatively quickly. It's not going to do so, which means I'm going to leave my stop at high of day rather than adjusting it down to the wick high here of 54. That's how I'm going to manage this one. You do whatever you want, man. So what's up? How's everyone sitting right now? You long, short, or flat? I am sitting short at 29,460 and 50 cents on NQ. Let's see who has the guts to put position and price in the chat. And price. American Pride, the only guy with the fucking set on him to put price short 2 at 29,463 and a quarter. You got a better price than me, big dog. Come on, you fucking bears. Born Trader, halfway through an Apex today. Green on all other accounts. Good work. Good work. Tremendous. Now, the real question you got to ask yourself is, how did you get to that point? Was it good? Was it sustainable? Or did you do things that you know weren't so logical? That's the important assessment on top of, green or red is obviously great. But there is such a thing as a good red day and a bad green day, believe it or not. Because you're not here for one day. You're here to provide for your families for a lifetime, ideally, right? So one day is more or less irrelevant. It's the process and how are you doing repeatable things. Good work, Born Trader. Followed all of his rules. We love it! It's the best case scenario, man. Green had a good logical day, didn't break any rules, didn't lose discipline, didn't have an emotional meltdown. Fuck, I'd say it's time to get out of here. All right, Bears. These bulls trying to pop this guy, they still have their eye on that high. I need more of a fade than that out of the Bears. They had me at best, 20-ish points in the money? That's not what I'm after on this trade. Jack of all trades says, hate to admit, because of all the folks I trusted said RR was vital. I had a bad habit of taking wins too soon and letting losers run. I had a 91% win rate and lost over $3,000. Now I'm green with a win rate of 42%. And yet we've still got typically newer traders coming in saying, what's your win rate? And I could sit here and scalp for 1 to 100 reward to risk and then tell you all that I have a 99% win rate. And the real ones would say that fucking doesn't mean anything, dude. But I could definitely impress a lot of day one traders who I would then get hurt because they would think that's the way to do things. Come on, guys. There's another side of the equation. The goal is not win rate. The goal is to have edge over a long period of time, which you have to have win rate kind of X, right? I would call win rate probability, to be honest. So probability X reward to risk. Which really gets you to what you're really after, which is that expected value to be positive over a big sample size of trades. You also got to be able to cover commissions and fees, so it's got to be relatively meaningfully positive. All right, Bull's gonna try again here. Let's see what they've got. Good God, imagine spending your time going around to YouTube live streams and spamming news for some shit stock. Good God. Tell me you're bag holding without telling me. Emotional motherfuckers. Well, ATR sitting 24, so if things feel slow, it's because they are a tad slow. Could be worse. Could be worse. Let's see if the bears can step in, fade this thing. Again, I had the idea working, put me about 20 points in the money. 20 points in the money is not what I'm after here. Lower probability trade. I need better reward to risk than that to make the math make sense. So let's see if those bears can step back in, fade this guy, backfill the whole range, or at least a big chunk of the range. All right, Bulls. Not a bad close, man. Not a bad close there, Bulls. Bears, step in, fade this thing, man. Let's do it to him. Go. Michael, how aggressive do you trade evals? Pretty aggressive. Pretty aggressive. Now, those of you guys who've been around for a while, my pretty aggressive maybe isn't as just gambly as some other guys. I don't know. My pretty aggressive, though, is reasonably aggressive. I'll average in. I'll trade multiple minis for evals because, look, at some point, when you're ROI positive in your prop trading business, at some point, the evals are just a time cost of doing business. So you want to keep that to a minimum. The financial cost is no longer the cost. The cost becomes opportunity cost. You gotta move quick. Move quick. But once you get into the fundeds, you know, I highly encourage you to size down and trade them well. All right, question for you guys. What prop firm do you guys like better? Those you guys, you gotta have experience with either or both. Okay, ready? Funded seat or funded next? Funded seat or funded next? What do you guys like better and why? Between those two, not all of them. By the way, I'm sitting short here in a Lucid account. I'm waiting for these bears to do their job. Not too much experience, huh? Alright, that's fair. What do you guys say about time to add a contract here? You know I can't help myself. Trading one lucid at a time, man. I'll add a second. I'll do it to him. The bet is the hesitation. We've been getting hesitation for how long has it been? Half hour? Dump this thing, Bears. That would be tremendous timing. All right, we got the rollover from 57 into the open of bar 58. Tank it, Bears! 300 points, baby! Man, ATR is off a cliff. We're down to 21 3/4 here on the ATR. So volatility is quite low. right, bears. Fade that son of a gun. Do it to him. Mario, what's up, buddy? How are we? Goodness, bears. See all this hesitation turning into a range? All this is exactly the bet. Now I just need these bulls to kind of run out of ammo for, you know, a couple of bars, and the bears will suck it back into the range. But they're still trying. They really want that high. Holy shit. Goodness, go, bears! I'm gonna need a lot more than that. Maybe not a lot more, but I'm gonna need more than that. How many trades you take today? I don't know, 7, 8. Well, Bears, you got the right idea. Now I just gotta see a bigger fade, man. All of a sudden, break even on the trade. Little headline? Oh my god. The never-ending battle around high of day. Getting wiggles here and there. ATR sitting 22. I've been sitting short for a little while now. My risk is managed above the wick high of 33. That's bar 33, which is the high of day. I've got a lower probability, bit of a higher reward to risk style trade on. Having a very good day here so far. Well, I should say a pretty good day. We'll reserve very good for 20K plus days. Maybe 50K. As we start scaling up, that number might get bigger. I don't know, man. Scaling into more and more props. Keep scaling horizontally. All right, there's the rollover. Bar 59 is going to close up. Bar 60 is going to open. All right, bulls. Another try. We'll see what they can do. Bulls swallowed up that wick low on bar 59 pretty damn quick, huh? Or I should say that wick, that entire wick. Holy shit, this is getting slow. All right, ATR sitting about 20-21 points is the average range here of a 5-minute bar on NQ. Yeah, you know, a trade like this for me is very, this is just easy going, man. I got my stop, risk managed on the high a day. If the bulls want to take it, fine. Fine. New here, do you mostly trade the 5 minute? Yeah, typically the 5 minute is my home base. Or I should say the 5 minute is my home base, but I don't want to hear it if you catch me on a 2 minute. Or a 3 minute, or a 1 minute, or maybe a 15 minute. I think you should have a time frame that is your home base, but too many traders are horrified to go to other time frames if it makes sense to do so. Like if you have a range, for example, that is offering quite a few good scalps on a 2 minute chart, but it's kind of too tight to trade 5 minute candles on, go to a 2 minute. Don't marry a time frame, just make one kind of your home base. Whether that's the 2, the 5, the 15, the 3, the 10, it doesn't matter. Pick one that the ratio, or what I should say is the balance of trade quality and trade quantity is good for your personality type. Now, when I say that, I know a lot of you guys are like, 30-second chart. I'm a hyper scalper. Well, me too, at heart. Me too. But the 30-second charts, it's tough to make high-quality decisions on a 30-second for hours at a time. You just got to be real with yourself about that. Come on, Bears! Fade this thing! I'm sick of it! Been sitting here for 45 minutes. Well, Bears trying to get a little bit of work done here. Gonna need more than that, Bears. This is something else. ATR is sitting at 20. Yeah, JM, that's right. That's right. If you take any time frame, now look, that's true assuming there's enough data per bar. You look at any chart, 5-minute, 15-minute, daily, 3-minute. Remove the price, remove the time, remove all indicators, just look at candles. The price action. You're not going to be able to tell the difference. Assuming there's enough data per bar. Now you could pull up a 15-second chart and say, ha, that's a low time frame. Yeah, no shit, big dog, because you've got not much data per bar. There's going to be a lot more wicks. Or what I should say is a lot more dojis. That makes sense, probability-wise, when you have less data per bar. But you start squeezing in enough, it's really hard to tell the difference. That tells you everything you should need to know about, you know, is there a proper time frame for a trader in general? Because even a daily chart, I would trade RAM the same way, effectively, with sizing variation, of course, on a daily chart for swing trading as I would a 5-minute for day trading. Same thing. Cheryl used code BIG. We love it. Ninja Trader or Tradevate? I'm using both. That's Ninja. That's the flagship right there. And then I've got all this going on in Tradevate. Bulls giving it another try. Come on now, Bears. Oh my goodness. All right, ATR is down to actually getting closer now to 20 and a quarter. Is the ATR. I'm still sitting short. Oh my goodness. There you go, bears. Now dump it, baby! We don't have all day? Flip that candle red, take us down. What do you guys think? Maybe 27,000? There you go, bears. Do it to him. That's filthy. Do it to him. Go. There's the rollover of 62 into the open of 63. There you go. Take out the wick low. Let's keep going. I want to see confidence. All right, coming in for a test of the wick low of 54. Let's see if the bears have enough confidence to try that guy. That's right here, by the way, this wick low. Might take him a second. Getting some wiggles here now. That's good. We could use some wiggles. There you go, bears. Taking out the wick low there. Give it a second here. I want to see if it can pull on back, let the bulls do their thing, and then let's see if the bears have enough confidence to go. Some hesitation. That's not so unexpected here. Just ideally, I'd get more for a trade like this, you know? Now you've got a really big argument here, by the way, for a range. Trading range right here. This guy, right? Here, let me draw it for you. Big ass argument for a trading range right here. So bulls are going to try to take it back up into the range. Yeah, you know, I don't love to see it. Range. ATR getting lower. Still sitting at 20. Not down into the teens yet, but... Biggie, my man! Alright, bears, let's go. Let's go. No range, at least not yet. No range. The range is just gonna kill volatility even more. John. Got him. Well, damn, Bears, go! Like I said, we don't have time for this. There's 63 rolling over into 64. Let's fade this thing. Good, go. Just get one more press here. Then I gotta tell you, I'm relatively concerned with that range. Beauty, I'm gonna book that there. And now I'm going to watch how 64 closes up. We got 4.5 minutes. So that is booked. Worked out. Maybe not the prettiest scalp of all time or trade of all time, but it worked. I'm very concerned about that. I'm back to the point of assume range, which was actually the driving, motivation to take that trade an hour ago. Almost exactly. But range until it's not, dude. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Until you're very clearly wrong, you gotta bang your head against the wall, say trading range. All right. Well, pretty reasonable day here so far, I'll tell you what. Hey man, if you haven't yet, we waited an hour for that trade to play out. Hit the like button. I'm running low on dopamine here, big dog. Hit it. I appreciate you doing so. Oh man. 64, what do we say? Coming right back into the range. All right, guys, I'll tell you what. So tomorrow is an exception. I'm live every day, but I have a very weird schedule tomorrow. It's very uncommon that this happens. I'll tell you what, almost never happens over the last, year plus of going live every single day. But I have a very odd schedule tomorrow. So I don't know. If I'm live, it's probably going to be mid to late morning. I appreciate you checking in on the channel. Hopefully, if and when I do go live, it'll just pop on your home screen. If you hit the like button, by the way, right now, it very much increases the probability that'll do so. I'm live every day. Tomorrow's a special case. Very weird schedule. I'm going to do my best to be live mid to late morning. If I can't go live, then I'll see you guys on Wednesday. All right? All right, guys. Pretty good day. All right. Hang in there. Let it come to you. See you guys soon.